So what even is Twin Cities Collective? How did you start it? What's the story? What do you guys even do? I get these questions every single day, and I wanted to share with you guys the brief history of Twin Cities Collective. So I hope you guys enjoyed this quick video walkthrough of what we do, where we've been, and where we're going. So I hope you guys enjoy. A brief history of the Twin Cities Collective. The year was 2016. I was 25 and I was looking for a community. I had just joined the blogging community the year before and started going to events like Minnesota Bloggers Conference, the Minnesota Blogger Bash, and others. I joined a group on Facebook called Twin Cities Blogger Collective and went to their first event in late 2015. That group on Facebook, however, was completely dead, as well as another group called Minnesota Bloggers. One day I saw the leader of the Twin Cities Blogger Collective was moving, and I reached out to her on Facebook. Here's the actual message I sent. I decided to merge these two Facebook groups together on Facebook, and I relaunched the Instagram, which only had a couple hundred followers at the time. From there, I decided to partner with Amy's Cupcakes in Hopkins, and we put on our first event in September of 2016. That winter, I decided to change the name to the Twin Cities Collective from the Twin Cities Blogger Collective, and then we launched the website. At the beginning of 2017, I decided to launch my first ever podcast, which at the time was called Conversations with Creatives, and I started interviewing local people. Here's some actual really old footage of this. The podcast ended up becoming a pretty big part of Twin Cities Collective, and I ended up working at a podcast studio over time, and we ended up recording a lot of it in studio in Golden Valley. We even had a live podcast episode in 2019. I still have the podcast, but it's under my name now, and I don't do local stuff as much, but I've done over 200 episodes as Twin Cities Collective. During 2017, I started doing a ton more events, and then in 2018, we launched our first ever workshop, which I taught on Instagram marketing. At the time, I was working at a co-working space, and they were wanting more events, so it was a great marriage of that. We also did our first ever Best of Awards that year, which we've now done for 5 years in a row, and it's become the main event of the year. Over the years, we've done so many different types of events, from breakfast to workshops to co-working days. We even launched mugs and t-shirts. And we've done so many things that I can't even name them all. There's so many different things that I've tried, and some have worked and some haven't. This whole time has been trial and error in figuring out what this thing even is. When the pandemic hit, we went virtual, and it definitely impacted me personally by having me expand my own personal brand. For the first time, I was able to work on my YouTube channel that I had wanted to have since I was 15 and now has almost 10,000 subscribers. I was able to spend the last couple years really focusing on the things I wanted to do, and at one point this year, I wasn't sure what the future held with Twin Cities Collective until I decided to start up our new series, Trails and Tales. It really put a new fire back in me of having a local group, and then we decided to launch the Collective Hub membership to have more consistent events throughout the year. I'm super excited about the future with Twin Cities Collective. I've spent so long building this brand, and so much of my 20s was spent networking and growing and creating content and having fun, and I can't wait to see what happens next. Hope you guys enjoyed this quick walkthrough of the entire journey of Twin Cities Collective, and make sure to follow along for more.